All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, 𝗏𝗧𝗏, and as always, we're going to be diving into the markets. We're seeing Bitcoin kind of trading choppy around that 42K level. I am still very bullish in the short term. I'll go over exactly why. I expect there to be a big leg up coming for some of these altcoins, some of them that are making new all-time highs that we called out here on the show last week, but some that are also hovering around all-time highs that I think are going to burst through that. I'll give you a short list of altcoins, but more so speaking on what I see coming in the market. So without further ado, let's get in the game. And as always, guys, like the video and subscribe down below to the channel. We're trying to at least hit 90K here. I think 100K is a little out of reach, but help us out. Like, subscribe down below. Let's try to hit 90K before the end of 2023 and heading into 2024, where crypto gaming is going to become the biggest sector, if it's not already, in crypto. And a quick shout out to our sponsors as well here on the show. We have Organia, Real Fever, their new game. They've been crushing it. Ultra, Vulcan Forge, Dreams Quest, Seedify, Redato, Amino Rewards, and also owned.gg, as well as XCAD Network. We have tons of sponsors here, very high quality sponsors as well. A lot of projects I'm a big fan of. Go down in the description below and you can check out all of our sponsors, as well as our exchange sponsors. If you're looking for a new exchange to trade on, you can definitely find one down below. Now, whenever I look at the watch list, so certain things we need to point out here. There's a lot of speculation that we're in a local top. A lot of people think that we're local topping because why? Meme season. We're seeing 𝗏𝗏𝗃. Yes, you heard that right. 𝗏𝗏𝗃 is up 500 or 600% now for the week. This is an avalanche meme coin, right? So people are now, it's in the degen season where people are hopping to AVAX to trade a meme coin. They went from Solana with Bonk. They're bridging over to Arbitrum to trade meme coins. They're bridging to Injective to trade meme coins because Injective's making new highs. So what a lot of people deem in these time periods is, okay, retail's coming in because of these meme coins. This might be a little toppy in the short term. Now, I am not surprised that we see some gaming tokens kind of consolidating at this moment in time. Gaming had a heck of a run there for about a month and a half straight of just straight green candles. But now Bitcoin's kind of leveling out. And what we see in this market, if we go to the 24 hours, I mean, some of these gaming projects are starting to take another leg up. It's good to see Domi Online bouncing back after dipping after its big run. We see Superverse up 10% today. We see GameSwift up 14% today. And I expect a big run among altcoins coming here pretty soon. With this retail money coming in with the meme coins, sure, people could say, okay, my coworker called me and said that they want to buy this meme coin and they know I'm in crypto or whatever the case may be. I don't see this as the local top. It does feel like we're trading sideways, but loading up for a big next leg up. We're seeing ETF speculation on the timeline as well. I can feel it boiling on my insides that this next leg up is going to be very, very big for altcoins, and in particularly gaming and GambleFi alts. Everyone says they wait for pullbacks, but once they get the pullback, they take profits heavily. They get out of their positions, or they're too scared to potentially make that DCA, when in the grand scheme of things aren't even going to get hectic until we hit 50, 60 and new all-time highs in Bitcoin, which is going to take a little bit of time. Like, you guys have time to plant those seeds and then watch them harvest throughout 2024, 2025. I think that the next leg up for gaming alts is going to print hard based off where we are in the market. Becker also says the top isn't in, you silly sausages. And, you know, people, one of my NFT holders, a fellow Neo Tokyo, says he's selling because Becker's saying this. But all in all, I agree. I think the ETF is still going to bring in speculation. I think more money is sidelined still. Like, and the popular belief is that it's a local top. People think that this market's going to take a hit, but they've been saying that for a long time as well. And I just see this continuing because I truly think not enough people have their bags packed based on the questions I get in the chat box, based on the Twitter sentiment, based on Discord servers that I'm in. They'll ask me about getting in. I'm sidelined, this and that. I feel like the pain scenario here is still up because people were not ready. They thought they could call this bottom. So what are some coins that I'm taking a look at? I still think Kaneko is a great opportunity. We called this one out last week, and this one has been absolutely crushing. It is a low market cap casino on the Solana chain. We said that Solana's got a hell of a narrative right now, which it does, and this one has run like crazy. But at a 12 million market cap, I think this one definitely does still have some legs underneath that 𝗵𝗡𝘃 sector, and we'll keep it on theme here with 𝗵𝗡𝘃. This one has been an interesting play for the month. Winner, I absolutely love this project. The circulating market cap here is a little higher than it shows on Coin Market Cap, but Winner is one of the closest product-wise to a Rollbit out there. I think Winner is, you know, very well rounded with the leverage trading, with the sports betting, with the casino games, and they had a big token unlock, which took it from. And if we look here, guys, the all-time highs are 11 cents. We got up to those all-time highs. We were competing with them, as we see back here. We got up to them, but there was a token unlock, so that brought it back down. I see this one definitely pushing back up, heading into the coming weeks. And I want to kind of go over, when I'm looking at this watch list, I think there are some good buys, like truly. I think that there's some really good opportunities across the board. I mean, Rollbit's taken a huge hit. I think that Senate, if you look at the ecosystem right now, they actually, let's see here, I'll load up the token. All right, so let me load that up here. And so if you look at Senate and Cidus inside of their ecosystem, you can go right now, and let me pull it up. You can start playing the games on your mobile phone. So they released the Zena app. And as you see here, I have it pulled up here. You can literally hop right into the Zena app and start playing the Cidus games right on your phone, which I find bullish because I have a full folder of mobile apps here for Web3 games, for example. So whenever I'm on the go, that's the easiest thing for me to be able to do, is jump into a mobile game and be able to compete, be able to play. And Cidus and Senate are so vastly not valued similarly. Like, the market cap of Cidus is about 4 times the market cap of Senate. And people like Kyle Chassis also agree that Senate is super undervalued. So that's one that I think is a good play, for example, due to market cap discrepancies. But one thing I'm really isolating right now, we've been laser focused on the studios, which we'll talk about how I'm playing some of those at the end of the show. But for example, and I put a long list on my Twitter of gaming studios that I'm looking at heading into the next cycle. And we talked about that last week. But in this upcoming cycle, you know, we are very focused on studios, infrastructures, the chains they run on, like the G Swifts, the Playable Games, the Myrias, etc. But in the upcoming cycle, the biggest gains are potentially going to come from whatever the hit game is. If you remember Axie Infinity last run, it legitimately did 100x because it was the one game that caught the most fire. It had the most traction, and it went from literally single digits up to $150. We don't see that every day. So whenever you're investing in these types of things, the way I allocate my portfolio, I go heavier into the studios and infrastructure, because if one game under the ecosystem hits, boom, you have a winning play with the studio, with the overarching entity, which in this case for Axie would be Ronin, the Ronin blockchain. But if you want to bet on some home runs, you want to try to hit a grand slam out of the park and maybe hit that smash game that comes out and gets that adoption, these are some of the ones I'd be looking at. Shrap, ILV, Prime, Senate, Cidus, Polis, which is in the Star Atlas ecosystem, Heroes of Mavia, Guns, which is, those aren't live, Mavia and Guns. Those are going to be for the off the grid and the Heroes of Mavia tokens. Honeyland, Decimated, Crown, WAGMI Games, Domi, Copy, and Compete. Those are some of the ones I'm looking at. And as of today, the ones I'm seeing good opportunities on, first of all, Shrapnel has taken an unprecedented hit with this market because it ran up so hard in that short period of time. But what I'm seeing here, I'm going to close a few tabs to try to avoid a little bit of a screen lag here. But let me go to the watch list here. Let's find big time. I'll just kind of show you the movement and the similarities here on these tokens. And I think you'll understand that this next move it's loading up for could be huge. So let's go to the all chart. As we see here, this thing ripped up to 26 cents and then it pulled back and it consolidated around 13, 14 cents for some days, for like a couple weeks almost at this point in time. And then all of a sudden, this thing rips up to new all-time highs, 87 cents, and now it's at 53 cents. It's taken a second leg of a pullback at this point in time. Now, if we look at the all chart here for Shrapnel, we just got that first run up. This token is still less than a month, or it's like a month. It's been trading for about a month and a week. And we saw that first run up. And for the last, 13 days, so almost 2 weeks time, we've seen it kind of just bleed out a little bit, but it's not because of the product. It's not because of anything going on in the ecosystem. The game's actually about to go live. They have their Shrapnel node sale ongoing currently. And guess what? Avalanche ecosystem is one of the hottest things in crypto alongside Solana. So I still see this being a fantastic play heading into the game launch. We also saw Illuvium pump into game launch, and I think Shrapnel will do the absolute same and could even have the trajectory of a big time, where this thing right here consolidated and then it absolutely took a huge run to the upside. So that's one I'm looking at. Another one that's cooled off after a big run is Honeyland. So I mentioned this one in the tweet. So I'm going to focus today on two games, one in the Avalanche ecosystem, one in the Solana ecosystem, that I'm really looking at to make a big move here in the short, but definitely in the long term. These could be some of those lower market cap home run plays that you could hit into the next cycle. Honeyland, for example, the month chart looks fantastic, right? I mean, this thing has gone from about 1.5 cents up to 6 cents, but it's still at a $10 million market cap. They have some of the best player counts in the entire space. This is also on mobile, so you can jump in for free. You can play to earn for free. You can literally start earning HXD tokens on your phone just for playing this game for a couple of minutes a day, literally. Like, it's very easy to jump in. As you see here, I will load this thing up too. Like, I'm eating up these mobile games on my phone because sometimes I don't have the times, for the most part, to sit for hours and play these bigger titles unless like I find the time at nighttime, etc. But for the mobile stuff, I can play it on the go, quick game loop, boom, and I'm able to get in there and play to earn. And Honeyland is available on both Apple and Android. When you look at this chart, like, yeah, it has taken a huge run, but it's not even broken all-time highs yet. And this token's less than a year old. It's underneath the Solana ecosystem. It's one of the hottest Solana games. I see the same kind of thing with Kaneko, the one we called out last week, the casino project. I'm still super bullish on it, and it's just broken its all-time high. I think that Honeyland can come through here and break this all-time high of 11 cents here in the short to mid-term, to be completely honest, based on the metrics of their ecosystem. And I could see this one definitely continuing its growth. Another one that we absolutely love here on the channel is Altura. So now we're going more into the infrastructure stuff now. Those are just two games, one in the Avalanche, one in the Solana ecosystem, that I'm really zeroing in on right now to make a big move. But a couple that I think are starting to become good DCAs. I think Altura, we got in here much lower, 2.5 cents. And we gave this one to the fam, basically near its lows. But at the same time, we are seeing big exchange listings coming through the door. And I know the chat box here has been asking me forever, Hustle, why is this only tradable on Binance Smart Chain? Why is this not on any exchanges? Well, they recently listed on Mexi. Today, they listed on BitGet Global. And I in my opinion, I think we're going to start seeing other exchanges like a Bybit, maybe like a KuCoin, those types of bigger exchanges with more liquidity. And I think that we're going to see the volume and the exposure to Altura become much greater. So that's something I'm definitely looking at in the short term. With these exchange listings, the easier it becomes to invest for retail, the better it is for us who have got our positions in early. So at a 47 million market cap, this one sticks out to me. And I get asked a ton about these two coming up. Playable games, first of all, it literally was touching a new all-time high here. It got above that 1 cent mark, and then altcoins kind of took a little bit of a hit. Bitcoin took a small hit, and now we're back at that 0 and 8 level. So about a little bit off of that 1 cent mark. But I mentioned here that I saw that it would make a huge push, and it did. It crossed that 1 cent line, but that 1 cent mark's been pretty hard to hold. I think that once it does surpass this on its next leg, it's going to be a huge move. But I think an even better play at this point, like we got playable games. We're up 9x on our position. So for me to come through the door and say it's a great buy today, little harder to justify, even though, when you look at the market cap at 38 million and the circulating at 400, like I think that this one can still run quite a bit. Don't get me wrong. And in the full bull, I see this circulating being multi-$100 million market cap easily based on what they're doing. But I think the low-hanging fruit play in both playable games and 𝗫𝗏, which has also had a huge run up, and it's at 100 mil, 550 fully diluted. If we look at the 1 month here, this one's been absolutely cruising on the chart. I think that the nodes are the play in this ecosystem right now. You can jump in, you earn those 1,000 coins a day, and you're just stacking up those coins passively. And as they keep selling, these prices on the nodes are going to go up. Like I've stacked up quite a bit of nodes in the playable and the 𝗫𝗏 ecosystems. They're both emitting good tokens to the stakers, and you're able to naturally DCA, or, at your discretion, you can start taking profits to try to ROI on your investment. But you have to understand, as the market changes and as these tokens continue to appreciate, those node emissions are just going to get bigger. So just going to open your mind up to the fact that tokens isn't the only way to make yield in this market, to make gains in this market. And honestly, the passive yield that stuff like playable and 𝗫𝗏 nodes are getting me at this point in time, like, it's a nice little backbone support to my positions that I have in these ecosystems. So I have to say, if you feel like you've missed these types of runs, which I don't think these runs are over, I think both of these projects are absolutely killer and are going to continue their runs. But I think nodes are the low-hanging fruit that if you're able to get in on based on the investment size, and you can see it through heading into this next cycle, that thing is going to be printing you tokens daily. And I think that that's a great play to be able to eventually ROI and make great gains on in the full bull. Now, heading into the holidays, we're not going to be doing as much shows, understandably. Like, guys, you have to understand, we've been here all bear market the last 2+ years, from bull to deep in the depths of the bear market, all the way back up to where we are now, where people are debating, is this a bull or is this like just a little mini pre-halving cycle? We've been here 3-4 times a week, every single week, without skipping a beat for these last years. But with the holiday season, we might be doing 1 or 2 shows a week, just to open your eyes to that. Like, we might not be here as much. We'll have some shows ready to drop for you throughout the holidays, but I want to give you some stuff to look ahead to. So in case we're not live on days where there's huge news, and if there's like a game-changing announcement out there that comes out, I'll put up a show. I'll figure something out, right? But at the same time, we could have some days where something happens and I'm not going to be live due to the holidays. I'm going to be with family. The Banter fam is going to be with their family, of course. But I'm going to put some stuff on your radar to keep a lookout for potentially during this holiday time period. Number one, the Portal TGE is around the corner. They just did their pre-sale. They raised an unprecedented amount of money. I'm going to be interested to see where this launches at, but they claim that they're going to be making the biggest announcement in Web3 gaming history. So that's definitely one to keep your eye on. That's a pretty hype statement, right? Number two, the Mixmob ecosystem underneath Solana. This is one I'm really watching heavily. They just sold out their pre-sale packs, which gives you $250 allocations into their token pre-sale, which launches at a super low market cap. Like, I think the MXM token underneath the Solana ecosystem has a lot of potential. So keep a lookout for updates in this ecosystem. Bloodloop is going to be an interesting one. There's rumors out there that some big influencers, maybe the orange eating champion of 𝗫𝗏𝗃𝗏 is potentially also, involved with something behind the scenes here on this project. So something to keep your eye on. I thought I already followed Bloodloop and they follow me. That's an injustice on my behalf. So I apologize for that. So I shot them a follow there because I think that this token is going to do really well. It's also being incubated. Shout out to our sponsor by Seedify. Another one to keep your eye out on this week is Grapes. The Grape token is about to go live, and this one backed by Animoca. They have a lot of hype, mobile games. This one, they did a good amount of a raise on their pre-sale as well. This will be one to keep your eye out on during this holiday season. Last but not least is Aether Games. Their TGE for the Aether Games token is going to be here probably at the beginning of Jan. So we should be back on a normal schedule at that point. But I did want to put those 5 things on your radar with Portal, Mixmob, Bloodloop. We have the Grapes token and then Aether Games. These are all either gearing up for, every single one of them is gearing up for a token launch. So those are 5 you can take a look ahead to. And then a quick shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. Dreams Quest, they just posted this devlog, which they're working hard on the Origins, the Fall of Azoria game. And I love when projects do these devlogs. It's very transparent, and you can just kind of see the updates that are coming through the ecosystem. They're adding combat mechanisms. They're making adjustments to their heads-up displays, skyboxes, animations, etc. So check this out and check them out also down below. Follow their YouTube, follow their Twitter. They've been cooking throughout the bear market, and I think it'll be interesting whenever all of their developments come to the surface. And then another quick shout out, Jamie Thompson, the CEO of Vulcan. They've been one of the hardest working projects in the space. We obviously invested in Vulcan very low, around that $2.70, $3 mark, notoriously throughout the bottom of this bear market. And it's sitting well above $6 now. He was trying out and teasing the new gameplay here for Vulcan Royale, which is like a gladiator arena. And I have to say, like, a lot of people over time have said the graphics need to improve, the games need to improve on Vulcan. And I definitely think that we're going to see that with stuff like Vulcan Royale and Metascapes. Metascapes looks like the killer app in their ecosystem. I think Metascapes is going to bring more users into the ecosystem, more users into the Elysium chain. But this is a good update to see here, as I think this does look pretty solid. And my conviction in Vulcan and in Jamie and what they're doing over there is unwavering. So shout out to them and to all of our sponsors, like Ultra's crushing it, Amino's crushing it, Owned just wrapped up the Game League, which is a big success. Seedify is doing the biggest launches in the entire space. So we have some awesome sponsors here. You can check them all out in the description down below. And that's going to be it for me today, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Like the video and subscribe. We'll be back sometime this week with another video. As always, play well, my friends.